Like I said, if you are an esports person and you don't have anything to do because Formula One is not on, Goodwill is on right now. Tony Mack, big shout out first in the live chat. How you doing? Come join us tomorrow at 11:30, but you need to be in the live stream, in the live chat. If you're not in our Discord group, you need to be in the live chat 15 to 30 minutes prior, so that if you need an invite, we can get you an invite, work out any issues that might arise to get you in. If you're a family member, then you know you can go ahead and hop into the Discord. We have the race ready room for drivers. Drivers can hop on in there and we'll be talking live time, talking amongst each other about whatever we want to talk about as we get set up. But we are on F1 2024. So if you're on 2023, we have moved on, leaped forward a year. I am here to talk about Lewis Hamilton and the possibilities of Lewis Hamilton being another world champion. Not another world champion because he's already won, but winning another world championship title. And I do want to say this. I'm calling a lot of people out, all right? Now, to put things in perspective, Mechanic, what's going on, brother? Put things in perspective, all right? Lewis just won his home GP, which was miraculous. But before that did happen, Lewis Hamilton went 945 days. 945 days with no win. That is entirely a long, long time. It's a very long time, all right? 945 days. The brother went without a race win. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is mental fortitude, because you need that. You need that. And not a lot of people have that, okay? This is one of the reasons, one of many reasons why Lewis Hamilton is undoubtedly the GOAT is this reason right here. How many drivers have went 300 plus GPs without a race win? One. Lewis Hamilton, okay? Lewis Hamilton is that driver, all right? Lewis Hamilton, think about mentally, and some people really don't care for this type of conversation because they want to say it's cheesy, but really, if you've never competed and been up and then been down and wanted to get back to being up and then had so many struggles to get there, you wouldn't understand the perspective that it takes to comprehend the mental challenges that you are going to face while everything around you seems to be moving upward. Lewis Hamilton had to withstand that, okay? Most people in even smaller situations than that would have broke. They would have quit, they would have broke, they would have accepted that they will never be at the top again. They would have carried on as if I'm really just here. They're going to carry on like I'm just here. I'm just here to get a check. I'm here to drive. I'm not here to win anymore, but at least I got a seat. Lewis Hamilton has been driving, studying, training, participating, contributing as if he is going to get back there. And that in itself is something you can't teach. You have to be born with it and then groomed and then somewhat cultivated. Okay? So it is beyond an accomplishment for Lewis Hamilton to go through what he's gone through since 2021 to come here and win this race. Have you ever heard of the situation where if a boxer gets knocked out, they're more likely to get knocked out again? There's something with the mind that when a boxer gets knocked out, their mind accepts the situation. Their mind accepts being knocked out more palatable. Like, it's okay, it happens. You know what? We'll go to sleep. Or it's just something about that dynamic. Some boxers, not all, but that when some boxers get knocked out, you will then start to see them being in that situation more often than they were before. Lewis Hamilton could have clearly been that. He could have clearly accepted that, you know what, I was great, I'm not great anymore. I was at the top of my game. I'm not at the top of my game anymore. I was a winner. Maybe I will, maybe I won't win. But this is not where he put himself mentally. And it's hard to see. It is hard to see. I understand it's hard to see. But I will say this. All of the naysayers, you're a loser. All of the haters, you're a loser. All of the ride on the fence because I'm not sure if he's going to win again, you're a loser. All of the people that talk good and glowing and then started talking bad about him because maybe it would have got you more views, you're a loser. All of the people that play devil's advocate because you want to feel like, oh, I'm with him, but I want to say I am, but you got 1 foot out the door, 1 foot in, you're a loser. And you've probably really never been a winner. All those people that, regardless whether Lewis was at the top or he was at the bottom or he was in the middle or it looked like he wasn't going to continue, and you still appreciated what he gave you, you still appreciated watching the greatness manifest in front of you throughout his career, you still appreciated the things that Lewis Hamilton still does have to offer on and off the track. You appreciated the fact that he appreciated people like you. You appreciated the fact that he stood up and gave words of kindness to people like you. Your lifestyle, your sexual choice, your color, your race, your mindset. He said, you know what? A lot of these drivers don't talk to you all, don't talk for you all. I will represent and be an ambassador for humankind. For those people that supported that driver as a man and a human being, you're a winner. You're a winner because you can't lose like that. Somebody to the degree of Lewis Hamilton, the complexity of Lewis Hamilton is more than just a driver. He's more than just a driver. He represents more than just a driver. He does more than just drive. So you didn't lose, you won. Even if Lewis Hamilton never wins another race, he still has broken record and nobody will break, or nobody has broken. I don't know if anybody is going to break it. Records are made to be broken, but how long will it be before we see a champion of Lewis Hamilton's stature go 300 plus GPs? Matter of fact, 344 for number 44 on July 7th or 7th, while he has 7 world driving championships. I'm going to say that again because some things that line up in the world and the galaxy and the universe aren't so coincidental. 344 GPs. 44 is number 44. 44 is Lewis Hamilton. 7th on the 7th day of July. 7-time world driving champion. Some things aren't so coincidental. Some things aren't. Now, true enough, being prepared once the moment is up on you is destiny. Okay? Being prepared when the moment is up on you is destiny. You still have to work, and he's been doing that work. So now we probably say to ourselves, or maybe some people say, the big question is, can Lewis get his 8th championship? Can he win another driving championship? Can he be an 8-time world champion, hold the top of the tippy top mountain on his own, break a record nobody else has done before? I don't know. But I don't bet against him. And this is some of the things I don't get. This is some of the things I don't get. Mechanic says, I see you, Mechanic says, people and media were giving Alonso more props, shaking my head. Thank you. Thank you, bro. How many people, media, content creators, were giving Alonso so many props about just showing up to a GP and another GP being a driver who is the longest driving racer on the grid? You know what? Alonso showed up again for another race. He's the one, he's got the longest standing racing career. They were making such a big deal about that. Making such a big deal about that. Double standards, people. Double standards. And I'm going to say this, and don't take it as a racial situation because it is a racial thing, but don't take it from me as I'm being racial about it, all right? I'm just calling it like it is. People that look like me often find themselves in situations where we have to work 10 times, 20 times as hard to get the accolades and the praise and the hand clap that a counterpart would do. And this is just real. This is just the way that people that may not think like you and I have set up a mass of organizations to participate and act as. So when they were gloating and clapping and hallelujahing about Alonso 8 podiums, which was good, do not get it twisted. Alonso collecting those podiums in an Aston Martin, while a young driver who is supposed to be great, some people say, collected not one single podium, was damn good. But a driver in a whittled, raggedy built Mercedes car that was able to drag that thing to a podium was great. Okay? It was great. Does anybody need to be reminded where in the hell was Alonso in all of this time before he got with Aston Martin? I mean, I know he was with several other teams, but that's about all it was. Nobody was talking about Alonso unless Alonso was talking about Lewis. This is the power and, how should I say it? This is how polarizing Lewis Hamilton can be. His name brings you views. His name brings you clout. And you know what? I got to say this. You go back and watch. I've been supporting Lewis. I call it like I see it when he makes mistakes. I want him to boss up. Been supporting Lewis. It's very funny how some content creators now, that's all they're talking about. That's all they can find themselves to talk about. Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton. They like Alonso. They talk about Lewis Hamilton when it pays. They don't really want to talk about Lewis Hamilton when he's down. Unless he make a mistake and something to ridicule him, they want to talk about him then. Keep the same energy throughout this man's career. And I don't give a damn if you've been following Formula One longer than me, keep the same energy. Just because you've been following Formula One longer than me don't mean you're not fake as hell. I'd rather a real person that just got in the sport today be around me than a fake-ass person that's been watching the sport for 30 years. I'm going to tell you just like that right now. Mechanic Mercedes says, now most naysayers saying he's the GOAT. Max fans fighting Max fans now. Bro, ain't that how I go? Mechanic Mercedes, you talking about the truth. Ain't that how I go? Right? Now it's cool to talk about Lewis Hamilton, right? So now I want to make a bunch of videos about Lewis. Where were you when he got shafted? Where was your support then? Where was your support in 2022 when Mercedes built a bad car? And instead of saying, and I'm going to say this, a lot of y'all was out here talking about Lewis was washed while he was in a washed car. A lot of y'all was out here criticizing this man's ability, criticizing his focus, criticizing his talent. Why? Because he was in a shitbox car. But you were willing to write Lewis off, but not the team or the car off. And then what did they do? What did they do? Many of them came in front of you all and said, Russell's a better driver. Now Russell a better driver. Max a better driver. Charles a better driver. They was ready to say all these drivers better than Lewis Hamilton while he is in a shitbox car. And then when you brought up the comparison that, Russell is not doing so great. He in a crap car too. And the moment Russell does good, Russell's good at driving a piece of shit. I do understand that Russell drove a piece of crap car, and while somebody could be more comfortable in a more unstable car than somebody else, doesn't make them the better driver. Just like you talk about teams that go to certain circuits and you say it's track specific, that means it's situational and conditional and environmental specific. Me being accustomed and comfortable to being in a Pinto with a gas tank that might explode if you throw a pin at it doesn't make me a better driver because Lewis Hamilton gets in that Pinto and don't feel comfortable to drive it. Who the hell should be comfortable about sitting on a damn bomb? Nobody. Just because that guy's more comfortable with it doesn't make him a better driver. It just makes him the better choice in that situation because he don't care that he's sitting on a gas tank bomb, and Lewis Hamilton does. And that's pretty much what a lot of y'all did. You wrote Lewis Hamilton off saying Russell's the better driver. Russell's the better this. And guess what? I'm not mad if you want to say Russell has more upside. Yeah, I am mad about that because Russell don't even have more upside. I'm not mad if you want to say that Lewis aging and Russell being in his prime, there may come a day where their physical ability is evenly matched, or Russell might just have the edge on physical ability due to aging. But still, the big question will be with Russell, with Max, with Lando, with any other driver that comes up behind somebody as great as Lewis Hamilton is, will you be better? At the end of your career, when it is all said and done, will people say you are the better driver? Will people say he is the new GOAT? That's the big question. And that's all that damn matters at the end. What does your body of work say? Racer X210, I see you. Sir Lewis Hamilton has a star power that not just national, but global. No other driver has a star power like him, and Brazil made that man legit citizen. That's true. In the very good point. Very good point. Because in the face of even their own Brazilian brother, Nelson Piquet Sr., going on a podcast and making homophobic slurs and racial slurs against Lewis Hamilton, they condemned that man. And you know what was funny? So many assholes. You know what? You exposed yourself. So many assholes got on here in the comment section on video saying, oh, well, I live in Brazil. That's not what that means. Well, how are you telling me you live in Brazil? It's not what it means. And I got about 100 other Brazilians telling me that that's disrespectful. So it's either this. Either it's different in the north or the south, or you trying to trick me, making me think something's okay so you can get me to think that Nelson Piquet Sr. is okay. And that ain't okay. So if a portion of your countrymen say, no, that's negative. I put it in Google Translate, and it came out negative. So you not finna tell me that you know more than your countrymen, Google, and everything else put together, or they gonna penalize somebody. Your own country decided to just pretty much outcast him and sue him, and then give Lewis Hamilton citizenship. So you saying that the countrymen of elder statesmen that run your legal law system are incorrect about what he said? I mean, when does it stop? When does the capping stop? When does the bull crap shenanigans stop? When do you stop? I'm just saying. So if you got your ass off the train, if you put one foot out and you was dragging your foot because you was ready to jump off, just jump. If you got your ass off the train, don't get back on. If you went ahead, took your Mercedes hat off and put your Red Bull cap on, keep it on. Don't bring the Mercedes hat back. I want you to stay where you are, because we don't need fake ass people. We don't need sometimey ass people. We don't need wish-washy people. You don't. And guess what? Just because you like Lewis don't mean you can't have another driver. I like Piastri. That's my other driver. I think Piastri dope. I think he up and coming. I think he's going to be good. I don't know if he's going to be great yet. I like Alex Albon. You can still support our other drivers without condemning another driver. Just saying. A lot of y'all did that. Some of y'all content creation pages, y'all did that. I seen you do it. You know, Jay done, in his time, Jay done kind of learned that, you know, content creation ain't like the streets. So I'll just be like, he is what he is. He a fucking clown. So, I mean, it is what it is. But let's talk about something else. Let's talk about, because I talked to Nal. Me and Nal had a conversation on personal side. And she brought up a very fantastic point during our conversation. And I'm not going to dismiss the things that Toto has done and or said. Him courting inappropriately Max Verstappen in the way that he did does speak to his character and his personality. He's not off the hook with me for that, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not making no backdoor reason for it. He ain't off the hook for that. Mechanic Mercedes says Russell's success in Merc is because of GOAT. GOAT input on the car is why Russell doing good. Thank you. A lot of people forget that Lewis Hamilton put that piece of crap W13 on his back and collected data, sacrificed his ability to finish in races, all to try to put it forward in investment, and let's see if we can get this thing out of the mud. And then what did they do? They told Lewis Hamilton, you don't design cars. You're not smart enough. Just drive. Just shut up and drive. That's what you did to somebody who's a 7-time world champion, who got you to an 8-time world constructing championship. Your employees thought it was okay to pretty much tell him to shut up and drive, and you let it slide. So that brings me to this point, like me and Nall were talking about it. Is the board of Mercedes so much in a turmoil of turnover that these people on the board don't have allegiance or appreciation for the value of Lewis Hamilton being in their company and a pillar in their company and an ambassador for their company to the point where they're willing to hop on something new? I think Nall had a very beautiful point, and I think she's right. I go back and look at some of the board members appointed 2021, post right in the debacle era, 2019. Maybe not so much allegiance there. You are appointed right when Lewis Hamilton loses an 8-time world title championship by scandal. Max Verstappen, up and coming, being pushed up as the great white hype, of course, and Max is a good driver, don't get me twisted, but I think we've now seen, and I think that you should be able to agree, Max is a front runner. Max having the more superior machinery kept him from being himself and was able to put a barrier of protection between he and his mind frame of Mad Max. And now what do you see now that competition has closed? He hasn't been on a podium within several races. You see the Mad Max come out. I said it before on a live. People that are bad people before they get money are just worse people when they get money. So back to this point, I wouldn't like to see Lewis, even if Mercedes, because I know there's a big conversation going on right now about, did Lewis perhaps make a decision that is going to turn around and go against him in the future? Is Lewis Hamilton perhaps in a situation where he's chosen, my beautiful daughter just came down to say hello, y'all. Is he perhaps in a situation where he's chosen to leave a team that has been awful to him and for him the past 3 years at a point where they might be starting to make the turnaround? Very, very valid concern, consideration, idea, thought. But I'm not so sure, even if not so, Mercedes is the place for Lewis Hamilton any longer. Outside of them making a bad car, look at what Toto has done. You took it upon yourself to go out here in these streets and court Max Verstappen in such an inappropriate way. It was disrespectful to Lewis Hamilton. Your board, whether you decided to, and me and all talked about this, let's even say Toto was for Lewis Hamilton getting an ambassador contract, getting an extension contract that would take him well into his retirement, and the board was against it. Did the board make Toto go out here and say the things that he said in order to woo Max Verstappen? Did the board make Toto say and do some other things that he said and did in the public eye? Did that have anything to do with that? No. That was Toto. So still part of me says that, Toto, you expose yourself a bit, bro. If Lewis Hamilton is my partner, and I say we have a relationship and a bond that is bigger than just racing, it's personal, and I know Max Verstappen was in part theft by receiving 2021, and I know Max Verstappen has said questionable things about my bro. I know that his dad and Red Bull have done inappropriate and racial things against my bro. You're not going to catch me out here talking about Max Verstappen is a driver I want, even if the board wants him. I am not saying it. And I definitely ain't saying it in a way where you feel like I'm condoning it. You going to hear me probably say something like, hey, the board of Mercedes, the higher ups are looking at different drivers and Max may be one of them. I probably ain't even saying that unless they make it, unless they want to come. I'm not doing it because he's my bro. I'm not going to do that. Just yesterday, I was on a business call and I had both parties on the phone. One party who is definitely close to me more than business, family, okay? The other party, we brothers, we've been together for a long time. We known each other ups and downs. And I said to them, It came out, it was like, yo, this is something that we gonna start promoting once we get it. And I said, let's be sure that we don't forget who put us in this room. My bro put us in this room. So if there's going to be something that is going to be promoted or pitched, it needs to go through him, because we would not be here if it were not for him. So let's not start getting crazy and start thinking like, hey, we're just going to go off on our own and start doing this and we not including who put us in the room. That's the type of person I am. And the type of person I am says, I know right now that if it came down to it and they decided to go do it, okay, I can't deal with that. I'm right here. Even if it's going to cost me money, I can't do business like that. I can't not give and stick with the person who put me in the room to be here with this opportunity, has not done anything against me, and say we just going to look at a idea that might cut him out. Toto, that's what you did. That's what you did. You did that. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Got to make sure. Hey, make sure you don't go nowhere. I'm going to wrap up. Okay. Yes, going to spend some time with my daughter. We got some things to do. So I just want to just say that Toto definitely put himself in a situation. Toto definitely did that. And now I think Lewis is very valid in going to Ferrari. If Ferrari have decided, now I don't know, Goat said, okay, Mechanic, I got you right here. Mechanic says Goat responded to Bono's message after the win, but ignored Toto's radio message. Toto also wasn't in the Goat's group picture. I think I got the group picture. I think I got to see, I don't know which group picture, but I do know Toto was there when they did the champagne popping and all the stuff. I think he was there then. Just like I know, matter of fact, and I gotta do this because one, I did say, I was one of people to say and ask Russell, where in the hell were you to congratulate Lewis Hamilton when things took place? So I know that I definitely have to do this, even for myself, to go ahead and just be on an even keel. So right here, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something right here real quick, and I think it is important for me to say it and bring it out, because I was one of people who was questioning, where the hell were you, George, when this came down? But I would like to say George being right here when Lewis Hamilton came into Parc Fermé, and he did congratulate him right there. So I will say George was there then. Now, I'm not going to say that where was George later? Where was George later? You came to congratulate me first up, but where were you later? But still, George was there at some point in time. Matter of fact, first person, as soon as Lewis pulled in to congratulate him at Parc Fermé. Mechanic says the way Toto behaving on courting Max is making him look like Diddler. Sorry, Diddy now. Yeah, it is. It does make him look bad. You're absolutely correct. It does make him look bad. I agree with that. Phoenix Black says maybe I'm looking too far into it, but I'm sure Lewis didn't respond to Toto's congratulation. It may say to myself, Wolfpack 100. Phoenix Black, I'm gonna say this. There comes a time where somebody says enough is enough. There comes a time where when you fracture relationships, somebody can't stomach being fake to make you feel like things are the same. And I think that's Lewis Hamilton. If you look at the way Ben Salim tried to come up and shake his hand, Lewis was kind of like, bro, I ain't even really trying to mess with you. If you look at the way, when you look in the cool down room, go watch the cool down room. Max ass moved his chair away from the center chair when he knew Lewis was coming in. He moved his chair further away. And guess what? Lewis didn't even sit down between two snakes anyway. Lewis did not sit down between Lando and Max anyway, because a frog that is a smart frog does not trust a snake to get on his back across the river, because he knows a snake is going to bite you because it's in his nature. Lewis Hamilton did not sit between them. Max, you moved your chair for no damn reason because he didn't want to sit next to you no way. Look at the way it kind of, went by Lando to congratulate Oscar. It wasn't like a push off, but Lewis's body language says, I know who you are. I know what you've been saying. I see what you're doing. And you know what? I'm going to be cordial, but I'm not going to be bromancing with you. And that's exactly what he's not going to do. Something like for me to be fake with somebody takes a lot of energy where I don't want to impact negativity on myself like that. I'd rather just not talk to you, keep it moving, or tell you like, bro, I don't fuck with you. Keep it moving. Don't hit me. Don't call me. I don't mess with you like that. See me in person, I'm just going to look at you and keep it walking. If you come up to me and try to dap me up on some fake shit, I'm going to let you know right then and there like, what is this? What is this? Like, nah. So Lewis is probably the same way. So we will see in 2025, next year, where Lewis stands, where he'll be, where Ferrari will be, what kind of car they're going to make, how many races he's going to win. Is he going to win his 8th world title? And I'm going to tell you right now, even if Lewis doesn't win 8 world titles, it still doesn't mean he's not the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time in Formula One, period. Hands down. Hands down. He's the greatest. Will there be a greater? Will there be a new GOAT that will arise in Formula One and say, hey, that dude done did it now, or that woman done did it now? We don't know. We'll have to see. Nobody saw Lewis coming when he came in. Nobody said he was going to be the greatest. He was talented. He's good. Nobody thought he was going to be the greatest until they realized this motherfucker going to be the greatest. So we'll see what happens. So big shout out to you all. Tomorrow we will have the grudge race. Don't forget the link is already up, so go ahead, get ready. Send me an invite as a friend to Wolfpack F1. I deleted a lot of people that no longer, probably going to race or haven't raced for some time or don't need to be racing with us. Be in the live chat if you just want to chop it up, have a good time talking, be in the race, do all that. We will see you soon. Wolfpack, what a pass by Lewis Hamilton, and what a call by Lewis Hamilton to take destiny in his own hands and clutch the win. Wolfpack out. Peace.